Hello everyone, I'm back again, and this time my topic is not probably as cheery as what I usually talk about. I want to talk about making arrangements and getting yourself set up for when you're no longer here. I used to practice law and I used to do wills, and my take is that everybody needs a will, even if you're young, and especially if you're young with small children, because you want to make arrangements should you not be there to look after them. You don't want them to go become a ward of the state, and you want them to go to whoever you feel is best to raise them other than yourself. But as we're getting older, I have discovered that there are so many people that have not made arrangements of any sort for when they're no longer here. And I think we need to do that, not because we plan on dying soon. My grandmother lived to 100, my mother is still alive. Unless I'm hit by a car or get some disease, I'm probably going to be sticking around for a while. But it's good to make those arrangements so that whoever is left in charge of your estate or making decisions on what happens if you get sick, that person knows what you want and your wishes are followed up on. So I really want to encourage everybody, first of all, get a will. Don't do it yourself. Do not cheap out on this. I firmly believe in doing a lot of things yourself if you can, but do not cheap out on a will. Go to a lawyer, go to a notary, and get one done properly. Even if you're married and think, oh, everything's just going to go to my spouse, you two need to go together and have separate wills. They can be mirror wills that just leave everything to each other, but also take into account, what if you outlive your spouse, or what if you're single? You want everything to go to presumably your children, but where you want it to go. You might want to leave specific things to other family members, like a ring that's been in the family forever. You might want to leave it to a specific person. I have seen on more than one occasion where people have done their own wills and passed away. This happened twice in one office I worked in. A woman took her mother and they did the will themselves. The mom passed away, and everything was so screwed up, it was basically invalid. And in another case, one woman's brother died in an industrial accident, and his affairs were so messed up, his spouse and child, the person he lived with, nearly got absolutely nothing because he also hadn't gotten a divorce from his first wife, and that was a mess. And yes, those things can be ironed out in the courts, but there goes a lot of your money and a lot of time and a lot of anguish for whoever's left to deal with things. So I could rant on this forever, but that is the first thing you should do. As a matter of fact, stop this video and go make arrangements and come back, because I've got more to say. The other thing is a power of attorney. What if you have a stroke and you can't really make decisions or express your decisions? You want to have somebody that can do that for you. Often it's your spouse. Maybe it's a child though, as you're getting older and you don't think your spouse could handle that. But you want to decide when you're capable who should do that. So that's kind of my thing on wills and power of attorney. There's another thing. We have set it up so that we have mirror wills, my husband and I, but when the second person passes away, our kids are going to be responsible for dealing with whatever we own. And so you want to have that information organized. And that's not just in your will. You want to leave them a list of who is your financial person, who is your accountant, what bank accounts do you have, where are they, what are the account numbers, do you have any loans, where are they, how much do you pay, how do you pay them, are they auto paid? You want to have that all set up for whoever's going to be responsible. You want to have your executor decided, like if it's going to be one of your children, both of your children, or somebody else if your children are still fairly young and you don't want to burden them with that. It's something you need to think about. I'm just looking at the list. The other thing on your list of assets should be any properties you own. Do you own them outright or do you have mortgages on them? If you have more than one property, where's the information on that? That should all be listed. And it should be in some kind of form, like a Google form that you can update, or a Word document that you can update, because things change. Account numbers change. Passwords, if you're putting it in there for them, that changes. So what we've done is we have a whole document, and it's several pages long. We just used Google to find what really worked best for us. If you're in the States, it'll be different than if you're in Canada. And also, people have different assets to worry about. For some people, it's like, I got nothing. I got a bank account. That's it. That's fine, but you still need to let people know where that is. A list of your vehicles. Where are the keys to the vehicles? If you have a safe in your house, what is the combination to that safe? We keep everything in a safe ourselves in our house, and our kids know the combination and where the safe is. But other people might not want to do that, but at least have that information available. The last thing I want to talk about is funeral arrangements. Now, full disclosure, we have not done this yet, but we actually have somebody coming to talk to us about that in the next month, because we don't want our kids, say we die in some terrible accident, we don't want our kids having to deal with that, paying for it, deciding about it, figuring out, do we want a casket? Do we want to be cremated? Do we want to be composed? I had a friend who passed away, and she actually lived in a state where you could actually have your body composed and spread out amongst a forest. What do we want to have happen? Well, we want to arrange that ahead of time so that should we both die at the same time, our poor kids don't have to deal with that. I know this sounds really depressing, and it is to some people a very depressing topic. However, I used to do wills for a wide range of people, and they were always horrified why I would come up with all these contingencies about one person dying in a terrible accident or this or that or the other thing. That's what a lawyer is for. That's what they will do, is look at contingencies and make sure that your will reflects what you want. And it's not fun. Nobody wants to think about it, but it's going to happen. We all are going to die. Sorry, death and taxes, that's for sure. You just want to make sure that when those things happen, that they happen the way you want them to, so that other people don't have to make those decisions for you. So I'm sorry for such a long, really depressing topic, but I think it's necessary to talk about that.